Here is our piping plover project by Dylan Olufoladora, Rabia Genolis, and Collins. Here is the piping plover introduction. The piping plover is a lightweight, small, sand-colored shorebird that weighs 1.5 to 2.25 ounces and measures at 5.5 to 7 inches long. They live in North American nests and feed along coastal sand and gravel beaches in North America. These birds usually forage alone or in small groups and tend to avoid the sand's edge. They are an indicator species, meaning that their presence and health reflects the overall health of sandy coastal habitats such as beaches, barrier islands, and dunes. This small shorebird is listed as an endangered species in New Jersey. Therefore, protecting them isn't just a moral obligation to our home and its residents, but it's also largely beneficial for monitoring other aspects of New Jersey. Here are images of where they nest. Here on the left is a dune, and on the right we have a barrier island. These are both prime examples of piping plover nesting habitats.
Reason for habitat loss. Piping plover habitat loss stems primarily from coastal development, beach stabilization projects, increased human and pet disturbance, and climate change impact. A disturbance is things that, they affect the biodiversity of organisms, and this would be one reason in which habitats are lost. Construction of homes, roads, and other infrastructure on beaches and dunes directly destroy plover nesting and foraging habitat.
Here's a graph of the New Jersey piping plover population from 1987 to 2024. As of 2024, New Jersey has the lowest piping plover population in the last 50 years, one of the lowest activity of pairs. Almost 50% pair success, meaning slow population growth. Depopulation may overtake the population growth. Reason for habitat loss continued. Human disturbance during the breeding season on vital habitats such as beaches can lead to nest abandonment and reduce reproductive success. Predation is also a big factor. Predators such as foxes, raccoons, gulls, and domestic animals like dogs and cats. Climate change is also a very big factor. Here is our solution. One solution that we could do to increase the piping plover population is to develop a plant that removes invasive species that negatively affects piping plovers. Another solution that we could implement is restricting areas that uphold piping plovers to protect their habitats.
Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm a research scientist working on a piping plover case, and I found some alarming news. So as of 2024, the population of piping plovers are decreasing. According to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, in 2024, 89 pairs of piping plovers were nested in the state of New Jersey. That is a 25% decrease from the 118 pairs that nested in 2023. This is also the lowest number since the agency began keeping track of it in 1987. This decline is due to a variety of factors, such as habitat loss and degradation, along with human disturbance and predation. We've also found that human disturbance during the breeding season on vital habitats, such as beaches, can lead to nest abandonment and a reduced reproductive success. So this is very alarming.
Today, we are presenting an urgent issue plaguing the lives of the piping plover, a very important species that is currently endangered in the state of New Jersey. The piping plovers are small, sand-colored shorebird species that reside primarily in the gravel beaches of North America. These birds usually forage alone or in small groups and tend to avoid the sand's edge.
Hi, I am Rabia, a Science Park freshman. Now, to the most important matter. The bird is currently endangered due to habitat loss. This has happened because the beaches have reduced the amount of suitable wintering areas available. Another factor as to why they're endangered is because of disturbance by humans and animals.
Collins, so I heard you are researching the piping plover. Is there anything you can tell me about
I am actually researching, but let's tell the viewers. So basically, in order to save these wonderful animals, there are a number of things you can do to help, such as respecting their nesting areas, avoid littering because food attracts predators and that can put them in danger. Informing more people is also essential. Also, along with the expansion of captive breeding programs to help supplement the wild population and reintroduce them into the wild. For example, an area that increase plover increase, such as the Great Lakes, utilize signs at trailheads, close the beaches to dogs, and employ park ranger ambassadors to help protect the birds.
So,
yeah.
Collins, you mentioned lakes, beaches, and I know New Jersey is
Great Lake? Huh?
mentioned lakes, beaches, and I know New Jersey is a coastal state.
Oh, yeah,
Do
yeah.
piping plovers live in coasts?
Yeah, piping plovers primarily live on the east coast of New Jersey, which is basically the Jersey Shore. Yeah.
2,000 years later.
Arce, what do you know about the piping plover situation?
Well, since you mentioned it, I actually decided to do some research, and according to this, it says that as of 2024, there is a group of 89 pairs of piping plovers in 2024, which is a whole 25% decrease from the 118 in 2023, just 2 years ago. And it's significantly lower than the beginning of it being tracked by the agency in 1987. This is a major problem because it shows that the birth rates of babies of piping plovers might actually be overtaken by the habitat loss experienced from urbanization and other factors.
Well, I know how we can fix that. And we're going to see that right now.
In order to save these wonderful animals, there are a number of things that you can do to help. One of which is respecting their nesting areas, avoiding littering, since food attracts predators which can put them in danger. Lastly, you can support conservation efforts by becoming a piping plover monitor or volunteer. Such efforts can have a big impact in increasing the piping plover's population.